Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Snooty Judy here, the owner of Indian Nail. I hope you're having a great day, believing in yourself and all your amazing ideas. We're going to be making these really cute flower polymer clay earrings today. I've made them before. That was my first time. I was so excited at how they came out. I wanted to share with you guys. I've chose these 4 colors and you can choose your own 4 colors, and these are the tools that I'll be using today. This is my embossing engraving tool, a clay molding tool, and then I also have my basic blade. All of these can be purchased at Michael's. Excuse my dirty blade, you guys. All of these can be purchased at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. There are other tools you can use. I have another blade that's a great idea. I probably won't use that one as much, but it gets the job done too. So first we're going to start by creating the stems of the flowers. So I'm going to cut just a small sliver of my green here, and I'm going to roll it in between my hands just like we used to do with clay when we were little and make little worms. See? If they're not turning out thick enough, you can continue to roll. Just keep pressing. Sometimes I press down with my finger, but right now I'm going to cut it in half because it's not as thin as I would like it to be. But you can roll yours, cut yours until they're as thin as you like them to be. So once you get it to how thin you want it to be, you place your stem, neatly on your clay slab that you have, designed for your base. I'm going to take my clay molding tool and I'm just going to smooth my line out. It was a little bit crooked. And now I'm just going to keep rolling stems until I get them as thin as I want. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you guys don't have to watch that. Up next, we're going to make the leaves for each stem. I'm going to cut off a slightly larger piece, and I'm going to start by rolling it into a ball. And then, start by rolling it into a ball, and then you'll kind of roll on one side, kind of pinching and still rolling. It'll make this kind of like a teardrop effect. After I make the teardrop effect, I pinch it down and flatten it, and it's now made a leaf. And then I'm just going to add it to my slab. So you roll a ball, you kind of pinch your ball to make a triangle teardrop effect, and then flatten it. We're going to show it one more time. This is me rolling it into a nice little ball for you, then taking it and pressing on one side of the ball so that it looks like a teardrop. And then I'm going to flatten it, and you can, shape this, to your liking. And then you add it to your slab and you have leaves. Later on down the road, we're going to add textures to the leaves, but I'm just going to go and put the leaves in for you guys. So next we're going to add texture to the leaves. I thought it would be a great idea to use this embossing tool. I saw someone else using one, but they were adding liquid clay to their clay, so it made it a little bit easier. But this turned out to be a horrible idea, and it ended up tearing the leaf, and I didn't like how it looked, so I quickly switched over to my rubber clay molding tool. I just liked how that made the leaf look. it just looked better. It didn't tear the clay. But basically we're gonna create some lines in the leaves and create veins in the leaves. You know, the texture that leaves have, that also, and also get rid of some of those fingerprints, you know, that were in there from, you know, creating the shape. And I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see this better and enjoy. So next we're going to start creating the petals of the flowers. I already have some little balls up in the corner created already, but you're going to take and create, you know, some balls that are the same size, some small little spheres that are all the same size, and they will serve as the petals for your flowers. You know, of course you can make some smaller balls and larger balls. You don't want them to be sorry, that was the childish in me laughing at the balls. You can make some smaller ones and some larger ones, but you don't want them to be too large, of course. So what I'm doing now is using my rubber clay molding tool to push the balls down to create like this petal shape. So you're going to take the pointy part and you'll point it more towards the center of the flower, and you'll go from side to fan the petal out. I'm gonna zoom in and speed this up so you guys can see me do this. But again, you're gonna point your it's not metal at all. Point your rubber thing towards the center and move left to right. If you do too much moving, it'll like flatten out your petal and then your flower will kind of look wonky. I do end up with a few wonky flowers because of that, so be mindful. So I'm gonna add more flowers all throughout the palette, making sure that it's even. The slab, making sure that it's even. I'm gonna add some more of this lighter neon color as well, bold color as well. I'm gonna put some smaller flowers throughout, and I'll be back. So now that I'm done adding all of my flowers, it's even how I want it to be. I like to take out all of the different cookie cutters or earring cutters that I have and see the shapes and try to gauge and eyeball, which ones may be best or which ones may fit on the slab, the best to, make even two pair of earrings. So now that I think I know which ones I'm going to use, I'm putting them to the side, and let's get to cutting. So when you're creating the my cookie cutter's all bent up. When you're creating the earring cutters, the shapes, and you're cutting them out, sometimes they tend to stick to my parchment paper, because you've been kind of pressing with it and working with it. That's okay. I'll leave them there. I'm not gonna fight it. If you fight it, you can easily, mess up what you're working on and what you're doing, and that's not what I want. So I'll leave it there until I'm done cutting out all my shapes. Then I'll peel away the extras. I have my extra piece of parchment paper over here so that I can, put the earrings on a different sheet. That isn't necessary. You could leave them on that sheet, but sometimes I like to pick it up and put it on a different sheet. Next, I see there are a few empty spots in some of the earrings. So I'm just going to take, the clay that I have, and I'm going to fill it in with some flowers and maybe even a few more stems. Also, if need be, just to make the earrings look balanced with one another. So, here I go. Now that the earrings are balanced with flowers and cut out, it's time to create just some solid color tops that I will place the backing of the earring on. This is so people can wear them. And then after that, we're going to bake them. Because this is Primo and Fimo clay, they have different baking times. I'm going to do an average of the temperatures and time and place aluminum foil on top to make sure that they don't burn. Thank you for joining me today on my channel. I hope you guys made a beautiful pair of earrings along with me. Feel free to tag me in them on Instagram at SnootyJudy or at _IndieNail. Don't forget to like and subscribe.